Innovation. Dark. Trend. America TV. Pre-Go Studio Live. 2020 GSL Season 3. Code is Last Stand.
Welcome back, everyone. Dark versus Trap is next for our best of threes. Innovation actually beating Rogue. I got to say, it was a pretty crazy series. Innovation really, maybe he is actually the best player in this group.
Well, we're going to see, aren't we, in 2 more matches.
That's right. Dark versus Trap. I think this is going to be a tough group for Trap. I think Trap can get out, but I think it is fair to say right now Trap may be the weaker player in the group.
Really?
Yes.
See, I disagree.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, go ahead, Artosis. Make your case.
I think he's going to get out of the group in first place.
Oh, cogent argument then, indeed.
Yeah.
Yes.
Cogent argument.
When you lay out all the facts,
Okay,
I really see what you're saying.
Here you go.
Yeah.
He was the best-looking Protoss against Zerg in the world. Earlier this year, basically, everyone looked like complete garbage except for him.
Okay.
He looked very good. He looked very sharp. Now the metagame has shifted around, the balance has shifted around a little bit, and Protosses are doing much better against Zerg now.
Yeah, Protoss.
So when you apply that to how well he was playing PvZ before, and how good his PvT generally is, and how Innovation's a little bit weak against Protoss,
okay,
I see Trap making it out of this group right away.
There you go.
I think he's going to win the group.
well, let's see. We're going to have a very good idea of where he's at in this PvZ, because if he can't win here against Dark, I think it's going to be the same thing against Rogue.
Yeah,
so I think this can go in one of 2 ways, right?
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, our map is Everdream. This is Dark versus Trap. A best of 3. The winner faces Innovation in our third best of 3 for Group D. Let's go. A little bit of repetition there. Group D, Group D, Group D.
GSL을 위하여. 전투 지원이 들어왔다. 함께일 때 우리는 더욱 강하다. 드래곤 피닉스 게임 다크 악령. 지력은 트레 조성.
What?
Well, yeah.
What is he doing?
I mean,
Is there some dirtiness?
I think he's going to make a hatch in his third, maybe do
Does he,
like an
or does he
all-in,
want to
or-
wedge it in the?
Oh, he might just go in and do a
Yeah.
hatch block for the Nexus.
yeah.
Then?
I don't know. Something dirty's happening.
Yeah, it has to
Something
be a hatch
unclean is
block.
happening here. Oh my. Oh my.
Yeah. Okay. Well, honestly,
No pool
I
yet.
don't think Trap is going to mind that much, because build order wise, he did a build that I think I would be happier than a lot of other builds to hit this. He went gas first for a no scout expansion, so he actually has banked more gas than you would normally have here.
That's true.
Which means he doesn't really need to throw up a second gas. He can get out the Zealot. He can go for a few Adepts and put on counter pressure against this.
Yeah.
And just remove the hatchery naturally. So yeah, I think that this is, I mean, it's not going to be a terrible situation for Dark, I would say. Obviously, he's practiced what he wants to do with this, but
I
it's
guess
good.
what I'm wondering is, like, okay, so what can this push Protoss into developmentally that maybe can be exploited here by the Zerg?
Well, it slows down techs, right?
Right.
Like, pretty... Well, I guess it slows down the macro more than anything. Actually, sometimes it speeds up tech, depending on what your opponent wants to do. But the part that I like for Trap is the fact, because it was a gas first, it's, look at this, right? He's getting Warp Gate and 2 Adepts, and it's like, I don't know, it feels like this all fits together reasonably well.
Looks like the drone is pulling the probe.
Yeah, it kind of does.
He's on a little wagon. So the drone's finally killed off. Adepts, as Artosa said, coming out in pairs here. The starports come down, and there's not been a Nexus remade.
Wow, a lot of Lings being produced. A lot of Lings. Like, he knows that these units are coming across the map, of course. If you see that your opponent is going 2-gate in this situation, you have to expect this. Let's see if he gets easy kills here.
Okay, now I almost wonder if maybe this is an intent. He's intending for the Protoss to try to fight back doubly hard, and then you just kill it with Lings? I'm not sure.
I think he wanted to kill it with Lings, but Trap was careful with his micro there, and it just did not happen. So now there's a lot of pressure on Dark right now. Look how many Lings he's forced to make. Really? Honestly, looking at this, Tasteless, this feels like Trap has, like, just easily gotten out of this, you know? It's like that Jason Bourne scene where he just disarms the gun in like a half second. That's what this feels like. Like, look at this. He's forced so many Lings. He's trading really reasonably against them. All these Lings are over here, so now his Adept Shade goes through.
And a lot of these depths are getting surrounded. You want to be killing drones, ideally, not Lings. So, I mean, this is being cleaned up with ease, and I worry now here for Trap.
Really?
Yeah, I do a little bit.
Okay.
But
I mean, he did lose a decent amount of units, but he kept the drone count down, like the amount of Lings that had to be produced. Dark was sitting on like 22 drones against 27 probes during that, you know?
That's true.
And that's like, that's not the economy he wants.
Well, there's going to be a counterattack here.
Oh, dude.
He actually, this is going to be fatal, I think.
Okay.
Hold on, the Oracle's going to come in here. I for some reason forgot he had an Oracle.
Oh.
But he can keep sending Lings if he chooses to do so. But there drones being remade here.
Oh, he has a second Oracle being greedy. I was wondering what the hell. Does he actually get that? I think he just gets it.
I mean, if he's doing it, he must know, right? But
you would hope.
Seems like it's close. Well, with transfusion, I don't think so.
Oh my God.
This seems like a real waste. I was really scratching my head at that moment there. Because
that was surprising to see him trying to get the hatch.
It was a decision we basically have never seen done in a GSL, which is like, I'm going to get a hatchery with one Oracle. And I know that it's low, but it wasn't that low, man. It wasn't like at 4% health or something. Yeah, transfusion's not the craziest ability to be used to save a building in the early game. So, oh no, he might even lose the Oracle here.
Oh, man.
I
really liked everything till those Lings got in and the Oracle didn't do anything. And he lost all of his probes. Like, before that, I was like, oh, man, my predictions look so good right now. I'm so smart. Tasteless. Give me a shoulder rub. And then he loses 7 probes, mining time, doesn't kill the hatch, tries to come in to kill the hatch again, and just takes tons of damage, tries a 3rd time and takes more damage. Let me give you a shoulder rub, Tasteless.
Yeah, please. He's denied the 3rd now. The 3rd is critical for development here with the Protoss. Actually gets a decent surround here. Will kill off the weaker Adept. This game has become kind of a beatdown, Artosis.
Things are going wrong. He's stepping on a lot of boards that have nails in them right now.
He's got tetanus now. He's got gamer tetanus. That's the worst.
Yeah. He's got lockjaw.
Yeah.
But he's going to have to crack that mouth open for a GG pretty soon here.
Does that block? Yeah, that almost didn't block for a second with those Lings.
That's the new door right there.
So, yeah, I mean, a lot of misfires here from Trap. Again, though, he's been playing a controlled game here. I mean, Dark really has been very much in control of the tempo and the way that the shape this game has made since the beginning. And we see this actually with Dark more than other Zergs, because he wants to do something early on that dictates the next set of steps.
Yeah.
So there is a counterattack, or there was, I should say. It looks like all the Protoss units are back home. He is going to kill off that Zealot, and he just runs away. This is forcing a lot of sort of wasted resources trying to sandbag the entryway for the Lings, and then he has to cancel that. And Banes are coming down here now, and this should be ready right as probes are going to be sent over here. Oracles would be great to, Oracles would be great to hold off an attack like this, but
yeah, he's trying so hard to be active, but maybe he needs to be defensive with that.
I think that what's happened is that he actually just needs better defense, and offense in this case is not a good defense.
Well, that Archon was actually kind of badass right there, to be honest.
The thing is that one Archon alone could still be surrounded by this many Lings.
Well, he brings back his oracles. Seems like he's fine after that.
I think he backs up and makes more Banes, right?
No, well, with the Archon there, and there's like a battery, it takes like even more now to get. I have to update my spreadsheet in my brain about how many Banes kills an Archon now with their slightly
Yeah,
nerfed
I don't know
damage,
anymore.
it's more though, right? It's like 1 or 2 more. But yeah, okay. So let's try to look at the game from right here. Where are we at right now? I gotta say, the fact that +2 melee is already on the way for Dark, that's scary. He has his 4th base up, getting his Roach speed, getting his Overlord speed. And then you look at where Trap's at, and it's like, well, I mean, he has a few Archons, Prism. Yeah, he's flying around with Oracles, which are really good at scouting, pretty good defensively. He's making 2 Immortals at a time. I like that. That's cash money right there. I like that.
Yeah, yeah. No, that's a good play, I think.
There's no move out coming anytime soon from him. His upgrades are behind.
And I don't know that the Archon Harass is going to do that much. We'll see.
Yeah, it should.
But this is like your Archon Harassing because that's all you can do with what you have.
Yeah.
This is not the kind of Archon Harass you see oftentimes early on in a game where they're really coming out at a unique moment where Zerg is still deep into development.
Yeah.
We've got a Baneling drop over here. He might just park this over.
He actually, Trap made a Phoenix. So that Phoenix should be coming over here. Where is it? I'm sure it'll be there in a second. Did he cancel it? Maybe he just canceled it. Like, maybe he was making it because he thought there were going to be mutas or something. I don't know. But I swear to God, there was a Phoenix making cases. Oh, yeah, I guess it's over there actually clearing that now.
Nicely done, actually. Trap is pretty much defending everything. That was 3 different moments where Trap handled everything pretty much perfectly, actually.
Yeah. See, he's cleaning it up now. It was a bumpy start. There's no doubt about that. But honestly, I guess Dark, in a way, forced that with the offensive hatchery. That's kind of a nice move. That's a very Dark-esque thing anyways. Now he gets that home, has a bunch of Archons, a bunch of Immortals. I feel like this is a period where Trap, I still don't think Trap can quite attack, but I feel like he needs to figure out what Dark's plan is now to get his next level of tech on, right? Unless he's going to be one of these 14 Immortal bros that just goes across the map.
Well,
where all the Immortals don't even fire when they're in the battle.
Right now, Protoss has to get to the point where they basically weathered the Zerg storm, and I think there's still a lot of tools at Dark's disposal here to try to come in. And this is a pretty insane amount of units. Let's see if Trap can actually hang on. He is eating some of these Ravager shots, but we have a lot of Archons, a lot of Immortals here. This is the kind of stuff that does kill Roach Ravager, but the Banelings are complicating the math here a little bit. He actually killed off all the probes in the process of this, and I think with the next wave of Lings coming in, you don't normally see this many Archons and Immortals running, but this is not an ordinary game either. Now, it seems like Zerg is eventually going to get cleaned up and lose pretty much everything, but again, 15 worker kills. That is a victory in of itself.
Yeah, a couple really good turnarounds there to pick off the last 2 Archons. And yeah, the worker kills were good, but the worker count's still all right.
What about
64 probes, 4 probes being made. He can't counter push right this second. I think that would be a bad move. I think he has to walk back.
He needs more meat in his army, you think?
Yeah, I think he needs 2 rounds before he moves out at least. And the fact that he's getting Psystorm and +2 in charge, I don't think you can hit before that.
Zealots do have a funny role in StarCraft, is that they are basically just giant sponges for damage. I mean, they do damage themselves, but in big pushes, they're sort of just they're cannon fodder.
In a lot of ways.
And you need enough of that so that the Archons and the Immortals that really are the great damage dealers can continue to proliferate damage in the fights.
Remember when the Zealots were both the Absorber and the Dealer with that 8 damage on impact charge?
Yeah.
That was, the good old days. But, okay, so right now the Hydra's Den coming up, no doubt that's going to be for Lurker Tech. Hive is already here, of course, getting some Adrenal upgrades, getting that +3 melee. I can't believe those 3 Oracles are still around and still doing damage. That's sick.
Yeah, they've been here the entire game, getting value.
Just, that stupid astronaut meme. Anytime I hear...
The always has been meme?
Yeah. Anytime I hear anything like they've been here the entire game, I just immediately see
always
a terrible Photoshop on StarCraft Reddit of like 3 Oracles, like, been here the entire time. They've always been there, they always have been. Anyways, a lot of roaches, a lot of ravagers, and I think seeing that army as Trap, he should be feeling all right here, right? His army is scaling like infinity better than this. Ooh, heal up that red one. There we go.
Yeah, now he's just bashed through that entrance. He's not going to attack further, but there's opportunities later on for him to maybe hit that area. And I think in this position with Rogue, you take what you could get. Right now, Rogue is growing. He is getting bigger and bigger. And this has mostly been a game of Protoss trying to survive, which is not the wrong way to play. It's just that Rogue has had a pretty, sorry, not Rogue, why am I saying Rogue? Dark has had a pretty big tempo lead here.
Yeah, he has had that tempo lead, but now he's stayed on this type of unit for a really long time. Now, he has had a good drone saturation, so it's not like he's dead for having done this. But that fleet beacon, in my opinion, is perfectly timed.
And it does,
like, he's going to just nail going into the next level of tech.
And it does seem like there is carrier tech is very much a necessity as you get into the late game. That seems to be the final piece you want to lock in here.
Yeah, it seems pretty good right now.
Mothership now coming down here as well.
Yeah, that's kind of an interesting first unit. I don't hate it, right? With this army, being invisible would probably help it.
Well, it's just Mothership is always a great addition when you're about to max out.
And don't forget, we've actually seen some offensive recalls lately.
Yeah.
And honestly, I think they're pretty darn good. So
this is
kind of hoping for that.
The strongest the Trap has looked this game. Right now, it's Roach Ravager, Ling Bane with some Hydras somewhere on the map. I don't see them, but they're out there trying to hold this off. And really great storms there, especially there at the bottom right. He might just be Immortal Bro, Artosis. You might have been misled this game.
Yeah. Oh, loses that Prism, so a little bit too far forward on that, but does it really matter? So many Immortals left over here.
Yeah, this has been a great game by Trap. Trap actually could probably swing this game into a win if he keeps going. He needs to get some more units to soak damage here.
He needs to get out of here.
Yeah, we're going to see a recall. Oh, weird. And Zealots were coming.
Oh, he lost
sloppy.
Everything but 2 Immortals at the end. When the Prism died, this is such a hard decision to make because it felt like he was wrecking. When that Prism died, if he had turned around, he would be the greatest e-gamer of all time.
The problem is that
Flash would ask him for tips if he had turned around right then.
Flash would ask him to sign his mouse pad.
Yeah.
So the problem is that he's winning the fight, but it's just Immortals and Archons. No Zealots and no reinforcements. And the problem is, Zerg is making Lings.
Oh yeah,
Lings are the most organic thing to make while you're being attacked because you need stuff to hatch fast. And Lings alone, oddly enough, do beat Immortal Archon. Even though Archons are pretty good against Lings, Lings alone can beat Archons.
Put a little bit of other stuff in there too, man. And suddenly, Roaches do well against Archons.
Yeah, you need Zealots.
Yeah. But yeah, losing that Prism and then losing that much of that army, it's like a lot of what he's been building this whole game is now gone, and we're kind of reset. It felt like he was going in for the kill, and if the Prism hadn't died, I think he would have won the game. But the Prism did die, and then he lost his army. And Dark is like, he's completing his tech, right? We do have the switch from Trap, but he's got no actual pressure right now.
Right.
Right? He had all the pressure in the world. He was walking around killing stuff. He was forcing Dark into hard situations, hard choices, hard engagements.
Yep.
But here he's like, he sends 3 Zealots and it doesn't do anything. A Prism's flying across the map. Okay, cool story. But like he has to wait for his units to rebuild.
Cool story. I like that.
Well, it's too bad because he played, like, the beginning of the game was rough, and then he was absolutely magnificent, and then he lost the Prism and stayed too long.
But can we always cast like that, like failed attacks? We just say cool story.
Cool story,
bro. Yeah.
No, that's neat. Yeah. Wow, you won that fight?
Yeah.
You gonna tell your mom?
Yeah, you won that fight. Hey, go! Don't forget to tell all your friends.
Yeah, that's how things should be casted, honestly.
Yeah. We're just insulting both sides.
Yeah.
We're too cool for the cast and the game itself. Yeah. Look at this. It's like Dark wants to win so badly. Get a life, kid. LOL. It's just a game. It's just a game, man.
Yeah. Why do you take it so seriously?
Yeah.
That's like not very cool.
Yeah. Isn't everybody playing Fortnite right now? What are you doing?
Yeah. Does anyone even play this game? It doesn't even look very hard.
Yeah.
Do you use the PlayStation controller or the Xbox controller?
By the way, Dark's got good control at the bottom of the map here. Creep spread pretty good. There's probably one more convenient base to take here for Dark, which would be the what is that on a clock? Is that like 10 o'clock there, basically? He could try taking, but from there on out, it's going to be kind of hard for Zerg to get additional bases. Both the upper left and the bottom right are pretty far away.
Yeah,
Creep is not close to that. I mean, you could take it, but it's not going to be easy. That being said, Trap is really approaching the game in sort of this death ball way, which Zerg can exploit, like we just saw there with the Nexus being forced to cancel.
Yeah.
The death ball, you kind of, it's hard to kill, but nobody said you had to kill it now. You can always try to just attack stuff later on.
The thing is, he again, a lot of this does come back to the amount of units he lost. He's rebuilt it now. You know, he's got this big kind of scary army, but he is forced to just walk around with it mostly together. And that does make it a lot harder. Pathogen Glands on the way here for Dark. I appreciate that he's actually getting into that Infestor tech just in case he needs it.
Yeah.
A lot of carriers are being made. The upgrades for carriers, you know, not far along. You know, we had a very active Roach-filled mid-game, so it's not surprising to see that +1 is not done yet. Dark Shrine on the way, the second Cybernetics core, so he's definitely planning on staying on that for a long time. And yeah, now we got to see, like, is he going to play this kind of roaming death ball game? I don't think that's the optimal way to play a situation like this, especially as lurkers come in. I think you have to break your army off into multiple pieces. I think you need, like, a prism and 2 chunks of army. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think you might be right.
Where it's, yeah, you got, like, your air-based army, then you have, like, an army that's ready to run in and do something somewhere, and then you also have a prism. I think that, like, that 3-prongedness is very important.
The 3-prongery?
I call it the Triceratops attack.
Oh, my God.
Oh, God.
22 kills on the probes.
That was insane.
Right now, Trap is down to 48 workers, but, you know, he's made the army he needed to get. You can lose a lot of workers then, but it's not...
Dude, he just, out of nowhere, it's like, hey, do you like your economy? Not anymore! Get out of here! Oh, my God, like 4 banelings.
He's remaking the probes, too. I was wondering if he might make 4 carriers or something like that and just get an even stronger death ball. You ready? Hey, you like your economy?
Hey, you like your cannons? Not anymore!
Because they're blown up.
And your economy? Not anymore!
So, where does Protoss want to attack? Is 6 a thing that can work? It doesn't seem like there's that much there.
Yeah, he can kill that. That's easy. Well, the thing is, wherever you walk to, the lurkers are going to move over, right? And this is why you need that second chunk of army, because there's probably a position right now that can be attacked with all those units walking down the field with your main army. So that is the one thing I really want to see Trap do a little bit differently here. And of course, you know, just having a prism out somewhere. That's always good in every match, but Prism's a pretty all-right unit.
Trap is now taking the last 2 bases that are, I mean, somewhat accessible for him. It's hard for Protoss to stretch out too far here. And we may get to the point where it's going to be up to the bottom left, or the upper left base and the bottom right base. I don't know.
Yeah, it could end up getting there. Thing is, I'm getting a little bit nervous for Trap right now. We'll see how his endgame air toss army, really, like his air toss army play, looks. Haven't really seen him do this too much. A lot of times Zergs just die to him earlier on, and you know, he almost had Dark into that position. But now that he's got this big army, how is he going to utilize it? I actually, like, I wonder if he should break off the Immortals at this point. Like, I know I see Hydras there, but...
Yeah, the Immortals might not have as much utility with the carriers and the Tempest.
Yeah, yeah, they kind of all do the same thing in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
Like, the Immortals don't actually... The best way that they support the carriers would be to suck up Hydra hits and help kill Hydras more quickly, but I feel like an additional High Templar will do almost as much, you know?
Yeah.
Throw in enough storms and everything. Maybe actually use that Time Warp spell that no one's ever used.
This game is really grinded to a halt here.
Yeah. It certainly has. Well, they're both very hard to attack into each other's armies.
Yeah.
Do want to mention Double Spire, of course. He wants to get those upgrades going, and the Ultra Scabbard, which I actually really do like as an ad very late game against Protoss. I think it can be a very interesting thing to have in there. Because, like we were just talking about how the Immortals are maybe not super premium units right now, if you lose these Immortals, you're not going to remake them, you know? Like the
No.
game would have to go so weird for you to remake them. So once those are gone, the Ultras with their fully upgraded carapace can actually be these hilarious units to help clear High Templars that are under a carrier-based army. I know it sounds weird, but it's something that we've seen just very occasionally. It's not a super common thing, but I like that he's preparing it.
Air weapons level 2 is done. We'll probably have level 3 coming here in a little bit. And yeah, nobody's really moving right now. And I actually don't know where the game is supposed to go from here. This is the very modern PvZ that we have here. This is, this matchup's no longer about trying to get a depths out and then losing the game. So it doesn't seem like either side is, you guys know what I'm talking about. You guys remember those games.
Well, how could we forget? It was most of the year.
Yeah. But, yeah, I don't even know what the game plan is. Maybe, he forces a recall there. Do you then try to attack somewhere like 12 o'clock? I don't know.
Yeah, well, that is something you need to take into consideration, like recall cooldowns and everything. That is very important. It's one of the big tools that Protoss has at their disposal. Oh, this is a great move. What a nice move.
No air weapons level 3. Denied. Bam, 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 bam.
No armor level 2.
Denied. Bam, 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 bam.
No stalkers anymore either.
Bam, 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 bam. Well, that's a pretty big interruption.
Yeah, that's
well, look,
very
they're just not moving, Artosis. Now this is what I call StarCraft.
All right, Lurker's coming up to siege this base.
It's interesting to see Protoss actually taking the corner base before the Zerg. We don't ever see that. Normally Zerg would be taking one of these corners and Protoss is trying to play catch-up.
Well, I think the reason for that is just unit compositions.
Yeah.
The Lurker composition doesn't have as big a range as some of these other ones for how it runs around. It's like when you get the burrow speed and the range and everything for them. Yeah, they can definitely run around and defend things, but like, can they run from 6 o'clock up to top left? Not really. You have to be a little bit more reasonable with it than that. Wow. Oh, that's just so funny that the DT, they're like walking towards, there's no detection, they just die anyways.
Yeah. In the line of fire there. We have a shield upgrade about to finish here as well. I don't know. Here's the thing, guys. I actually don't know who's supposed to be attacking who right now. I don't know what the roles are here because this is like about as late game and epic as we have been able to cast. It does appear that Protoss thinks that they're supposed to be the pusher here.
Yeah, well, I think it's easier for Protoss to push than it is for Zerg. If you look at Zerg's army, a lot of it is
nice.
It's almost reactionary, the Zerg army, right? Because you have to burrow, unburrow lurkers. You have your spores, which are a giant part of your defense. And you have quite a few spellcasters in there, and you have quite a few corruptors in there. So when you look at all these, what here is actually for attacking buildings? This is kind of a, I will kill you if you come here, and I'm going to be cost-efficient enough that I will eventually win. That's kind of what the Zerg army is now. The Broodlord, Infestor pushes don't really exist. We don't have those Infested Terrans. Broodlord's a little bit worse than it used to be.
But it does seem
with that comp, I could see him pushing.
What's weird is there's been this role reversal here. Protoss has gotten the bottom right, and you can see Zerg doesn't really have an answer to stop that. And now Protoss looks like, and granted, there's Zerg to kill that probe, but I think in a little bit, Protoss will go up here and take this as well. And
that would be one way to win the game, right?
Yeah, if you have
if you mine out bottom right and then top
two
left.
bases ahead and you mine them out, then you should win, right? Also, since we're getting to super big picture here, let's point out that Dark has almost 7K, well 6.5K minerals, 3.4 gas, 2 traps, 4.1K minerals, and 6.1K gas.
Yeah, that's
so
actually...
that's a lot of gas banked up here for Protoss. It's a lot of Templars if he needs them.
That is crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's actually huge. For defense?
That's 30 High Templars of gas.
Yeah.
And that's a really, really good point. Because that's kind of like what you run out of a lot of the time. But the fact that he can remake that many High Templars and Archons and everything, it's going to be real hard to end trap as long as he doesn't waste an army.
But He's actually... Wait, hold on. Where's Trap going now? Yeah, he's going to try to push through here.
Yeah,
I thought he might go up and around, but I guess he wants to move through this
I
position.
like this.
Okay.
Yeah, and I like that.
But you're okay losing these, right?
They're the least important unit that he has right now. Are you okay with it? Yeah.
Are you excited by it?
he's-
Are you clapping your hands that you lost your immortals? I mean,
Yeah, probably not that.
no.
But like, I think he's completely fine losing them. But at the same time, inside he's probably scoffing like, that shouldn't be that easy for him.
Yeah.
You know, like, you shouldn't be able to just steal those and instantly kill them. Look at that, 27 photon cannons, 36 spores.
Well, I don't know that Protoss can actually push us. Hey, that's pretty nice.
Well, yeah, that is cool. I do like the fact that he's added in the Tempest now. As long as he's tagging things with Oracles, I mean, he's going to basically outrange everything, and he's got just the right number that he can easily kill spores. It's like 4-shot, right? So 1 volley. Is that right?
What?
Oh, okay. So I think what we just saw there was he was going to Neural, but then the units went under the mothership.
Okay, that was
And
very
so
confusing looking.
The cloak made it so that the tentacle just was like, nah.
It's like he finds that his tentacle just isn't quite long enough. He's going to kill this hatchery. And if he takes this out, which he does, he can push north and smash this. I think Protoss is going to win this game. Trap showing
Trap's
the
playing real
greatest
nice.
late game PvZ like ever, man. Like, this is insane.
Yeah, he's playing it really nicely. The way he's moving his army around. Okay, there we go. These are the types of moves that I think we really need out of Dark. Like, he has enough Corruptors that he should be able to actually pick off some of these expensive air units. Oh, okay, and now he's making 3 Ultras, and I know I was talking before about how you can utilize those to clear High Templars. We could see that, but you can also use them to kill some of these bases on the fringes, right? They're pretty quick, run them around, they kill buildings reasonably quick. I want to see what he's going to use them for, though. I think he might actually just go, like, Corruptors and Archons, or and Ultras in at the same time.
So can he just warp some more stuff in over here? I guess not. Trap's pretty much maxed out. 2 more carriers coming here, so there's nothing you can do unless you're going to recall to save these units over here.
Oh, Zealots get warped in. Didn't his cannons actually kill the Overseer that was there?
Yeah, I thought it had been GTs, yeah.
Things are moving pretty quick. It's hard to look at the screen and really take in absolutely everything.
Keep in mind that Trap has soaked up a decent amount of resources from the bottom right, and Zerg is going to mine out, by the way. In fact, Zerg is mined out. Look at the mini-map.
Yeah,
Zerg's actually
mined out.
I thought there's 1 base at the bottom with, I think, 2 patches that are about to dry up. So, this, I believe, is getting close to checkmate. Like, how are you going to fight back, kill everything, and win? And I think Trap is... If I'm Trap, I stall.
Yeah. No, I think you're right that Trap should not be attacking. He should be falling back and defending some bases.
Yeah, and I think you have modest defense everywhere. Enough where they really have to work to get in there.
Yeah. A couple cannons at least, a couple shield batteries at least, especially so you can overcharge one of those. I think that's really important. Yeah, I'm actually excited about this unit comp, though, that Dark has made. Right? It's like, he's basically got Corruptor Ultra. So if the Ultras, right, because the Corruptors can actually beat, in the right numbers, the Protoss Air Army, they can actually snipe it down pretty quickly.
Right.
So if you have enough Ultras to deal with Archon High Templar, that might end up working out. Let's see. Okay, here he's going to go for it.
Well, hold on. Here we go. Lots of storms down here on those Corruptors.
Oh, my God. The Parasitics as well. Oh, the damage output, just madness. Actually going to go ahead and neural a whole bunch of this as well. The Ultras do their job, and the Corruptors starting to clean up.
Wow, so many DTs coming through here, though. Are the DTs really the answer to the Ultras? Let's find out.
Well,
doesn't look like
no, they just are not. I guess they have the highest damage output of a gateway unit that you can warp in quickly, but with that many Overseers there, and the splash damage that Ultras have, that was definitely not the right call.
Okay, so now what? You have a bunch of Corruptors. I guess you can ooze down the buildings. But do we switch into Protoss ground now?
I think
what is the game plan?
I don't know if he made Blink. All right, he's making some Immortals. I hope you have a Greater Spire here, because if you realize that he's going ground units, you need to turn these into Broods immediately. I don't think he actually has a greater
Did Trap
spread.
just lose? Keep in mind, it took the entire game to get that army that Protoss had.
You know, I do want to
By
mention
Void
too,
Rays.
we see sometimes Protoss players get blank late game when they didn't have it. I think it's for situations like this generally, where you lose your entire army, and sometimes you can look and be like, oh, maybe some Stalkers would be useful here, right? If he had 12 Stalkers right now, you know how much value he could get out of those?
Oh, yeah.
Really, truly. But
By the way,
I don't think he actually has blink.
Zerg is mining again in the bottom right. So this is no longer as a player that just doesn't have any resources here. Some big side storms down here on these Corruptors, but is it really enough? Mostly it just damages them and they fly away.
He's actually adding a lot of Void Rays.
He needs to kill this now.
Dude, the Void Rays might be really excellent here.
They could be, but he needs a lot of them.
Yeah, but the Void Rays are going to counter the Ultras and the Corruptors.
Yeah.
And really, you need Vipers against Void Rays, or, you know, lots of Hydras, but then the Storm is good against that.
We can't have lots of Hydras because Protoss will just kill it with everything else.
Yeah.
So maybe...
So the Void Rays I actually really like. When he joins the Void Rays with this army...
Couple things, too, here I want to point out. Dark has now spent all his money. The money that he's getting now is from the new expansion. Trap has spent all of his gas, which is important.
Oh,
he can fill it in with some more Zealots, but there's not much else. He could also make a Nexus and Cannons. That's a possibility as well.
That's probably more what we'll see.
Yeah, I think so. But only those two things. So, this has been one of the more economically complex games I've casted, to be frank. Like, it's a very weird one, right? Like, they both... Well, Zerg basically did a dump of all of the supply and resources into one big attack. One is expanding now. Killed off all of Trap's bases that he was slowly soaking resources from. But now Dark is and this is a pretty scrappy game. I mean, Zerg never want to be mining from one base in a late game, right?
You know what I really wonder here? The way he's not showing Voids, I wonder if he's waiting for them to be Broodlords or to show themselves somewhere, like...
Well, I mean,
because you don't want to fight them yet.
This is a technique in StarCraft, is pocketing an insane, unusual tech.
Yeah.
And then showing it at the last second.
Absolutely.
And I mean, look, Zerg's not going to be able to tech out of that. Or I shouldn't say tech. You're not going to spend your money out of that. You can't pay it like it's a fine or something. Pay it to fix that. But again, there's so many Corruptors.
Well, if you made them all into Broodlords. Well, no, I guess that would not counter the Voids. Okay, see, yeah, he's actually running from them. Oh my God. Like, these Corruptors are actually going to kill buildings so quickly here.
Yeah, this base is no more. Really good
this
play here by
looks
Dark.
so strange. Look at this. It's like a very dirty, expensive water fountain.
Okay, here we go. That's a lot of damage.
Oh.
And I think from here he has to actually go all the way to the bottom, right? You just keep attacking here, right?
Okay, he's out playing those Voids. I think the Voids should turn around, right?
No, I don't. Can you actually kite here, Zerg? What is he trying to do?
Yeah,
he's trying to like.
He's winning this battle.
Is he?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you're right. There's actually just
it's
too
like
much.
he spent $1 million on Void Rays and then let the Corruptors that were nearly useless, other than hitting the buildings, kill them all.
I think Dark's gonna probably win now.
I don't know. I don't know because he has top left still. And the ground army doesn't have an answer from Dark. Dark doesn't have an answer to that. I think he should still be flying around killing buildings with the Corruptors, though, that's for sure. Okay, Lurker's coming around and kind of flanking that army. I think that's a good idea. If he can maybe like punish and kill the High Templars, that would definitely be a victory. Okay. He doesn't have any detection in here.
I bet he really wishes his Void Rays are with his Archons and Immortals in this moment. Yes. This is going to be a win here for Dark.
You know,
right?
if the Voids had come out earlier with the Archons, I mean, the Corruptors can't do anything.
Get the army together here, and then you've got a real threat. By the way, Protoss is mining from the upper left, but I think Zerg is going to push through and kill that, right?
It's a good question. He's got 10 Lurkers. That's his ground army. The Voids can beat the Lurkers, but the Corruptors can kill the Voids, but the Archons can kill the Corruptors, but the Lurkers can kill the Archons.
Yeah, this is such a weird game. Now,
okay.
hold on. He's actually moved over here. Zerg does not quite have his army in position. Lurkers and Corruptors are coming down here. Is Lurker Corruptor an answer for this, though? Popping the expansion, Now, bottom right, that's going to mine out soon, right? Because both sides have had that for a little bit here.
Probably.
Protoss is also being uninterrupted in mining from the upper left. What a game. This is, by the way, we're at 38 and a half minutes here. This is almost a 40-minute game. I don't think it's about to end anytime soon here. It's become incredibly scrappy.
Yeah, it seems to me that I think because he's making some more voids in here, it feels like Trap's going to kill him. Because his army altogether is getting too strong.
This has been one of the tougher games to cast, to be honest with you, man. This has been
very
such a crazy
different
game. By the way, if he takes this out, again, Zerg's not mining. This base is almost mined out, though. There's some patches already gone.
I think just rotating around is fine. Anything you pick off here is insane value. All right, Link's getting a cancel over there, but still Trap with that top left base is allowing him to make more.
Okay, another attack in here. These lurkers are going to do a lot of damage. The Celts are getting on top here. Archon shooting this down. Is Trap going to win this game? Here come the Corruptors. GG, Trap takes it. What an insane, epic PvZ. That is modern 2020 late game PvZ, my friends. That's how you do it.
And I think, like, Dark played a very good game, I think, throughout. I was very impressed. I think that his Ultra Corruptor was the best thing he could use to deal with what he was against. I think that was really a brilliant move, to be honest.
You know how the Native Americans used every part of the buffalo when they hunted it?
Yeah.
Trap used every part of the Protoss.
Yeah, I guess.
No part of the Protoss went to waste.
Well,
we had the entire tech tree. Every unit was used.
No, Disruptor and Colossus.
Every unit was used. You can't make those in that matchup. I forgot about those. I was so excited to see the Void Ray. You're totally right.
Yeah. But look, the thing is, I think that Trap made mistakes. Like, quite a few that could be fixed and make him even stronger.
We're going to Death Orb for Game 2. Right now, Trap with a 1-0 lead.
GSL 위하여. 드래곤 피닉스 게임 딱 방명. 지니어 그르니.
Every player today is looking so good.
Yeah.
It's still hard to say who's going to get out, man.
That is true. That is true.
What a crazy late game that was.
No, it was close. It was good. But, you know, it really did feel to me like there was 2 or 3 instances where if Trap makes a slightly different choice, he dominates.
Yeah. No, I hear you on that.
So
it was not a clean game. It was not a perfect game.
It was not it's certainly not that. And I guess we don't really get perfect games, but like some of those, yeah, some of the decisions that we talked about were hard, like turning around your army right then when it feels like you're going to win. But if he makes choices like that, like he doesn't have to just sit back for 20 minutes building a new army, and he can win much more easily. But
those are the most complicated games where resources are very limited. You basically spent through an entire late game. We're getting to end game where, because, you know, games can't go on forever, guys. I mean, eventually the resources dry up and, you know, one side can kill the other. But those are the rarest of games. Even if you play all day, every day as a pro, those are the rarest of, those are the rarest of games.
It's funny, there's been like metas where we got that. Remember Abyssal Reef?
Right, yeah.
Like by the end of that lifespan, we definitely had a lot of games where the map could mine out, and we knew so much about the Supreme late game. It's fresh though right now, you know? It's we're still seeing how people are going to use it. It's just gotten back in. And you know, I thought that was a really cool one. I really enjoyed a lot of the decisions that they were making.
Yeah, me too.
Swaps, and I thought, you know, I kept going back and forth on whether I like the Void Rays being pooled. But I guess in retrospect, they should have been with the Archons. And then it's like that army never gets touched.
Yeah, it's funny though.
Lose it.
There's something strange about when a Zerg player is forced into a ridiculous number of Corruptors, where it seems like, okay, this wipes everything out, but there's opportunity here. It's a funny, lopsided unit that can only kind of have to everything. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, very much. Well,
if there was an upgrade where they could float low to the ground like vulture bikes, and then kill ground units, then we'd have the most OP
we'd
thing
probably
ever.
only have them made.
Yeah, yeah. They'd be like Vikings, but they don't have to actually land; they just fly down.
Yeah. I do think it was a mistake not to have Greater Spire prepared, right? I think if you kill an air army like that, let's say that you kill that air army and you have 34 Corruptors or whatever it is that he had.
You go immediate.
No matter
Brood
how
Lord.
many Stargates that they have, you could turn if you have, let's just make an even number, like 30. Okay, so if you have 30 Corruptors, the most Stargates, what's the most Stargates we ever see? Is it like 6?
6 or 5 or something like that.
So how many rounds do they need? You can start calculating it like that, where it's like, well, if I make 8 broods, they need to do 4 rounds of flying units to kill my Corruptors.
I think the idea is you make the broods and immediately start pushing the most important location on the map.
Yes.
Maybe that's even the main. I don't know. But you start to push in there, and then you try to accelerate the end of the game. And maybe Protoss counterattacks. I get that. But maybe not. I don't know. It's a very complicated situation, but it does seem like, and it's not like the pros are bad. It's just this is such an unusual situation, and it's easy for us to sit here and kind of ruminate about what maybe they could have done because we're not in the moment. But
no, it's I think that this analysis we're talking about is fair.
Yeah, I think so.
Definitely, there was a lot of things that were done in that game that were not optimal. They were really well done, and these players are amazing. But there's, I mean, infinite skills ceiling, man.
That's why RTS
can
is
get
the
better.
best. Yeah,
it's so complex, some of these situations.
There's so much room to learn and to innovate and to improve.
By the way, this is a crazy all-in from Trap. So he's pretending he's going to take a third. He's not going to take a third, guys. This Void Ray is just kind of clearing things, and he's going with a massive charge all-in. Dark sees the probe there, the pylon there. Those are left as bait. Okay, Spine's being made. I think Dark has started to figure out what might be going on here.
Now this has to work, and it has to hit very hard. And basically knock Dark off of his feet here. Now, the Lings are going to maybe, I guess not, I was going to say maybe kill the Cybernetics Core, but really it's going to be all Zealots here, so it's actually inconsequential. The push is coming. Charge is 5 seconds out. Here we go.
Yeah, let's see if he's going to have enough. He does have the Void Ray in here as well. Charge is done. Charge is ready. The Lings come up. He brings them back into a choke on that ramp, but there's too many Lings here, and he does have to turn around for now.
Yeah, it just was never going to work, it appears.
Oh my God, Charge through that. Oh my, did you see that?
Yeah.
I didn't. Got better eyes than me.
So now, does Protoss try to dive in again? We see a Templar Archives coming here, a Forge, and now probes are started, so he's going to try to just switch into a normal game.
Yeah, I think he has to. Dark defended this a bit too well.
Yeah, Dark was completely ready.
Well, you know, Trap took a little bit of a risk here, trying to finish the game really quickly with an all-in, and it didn't quite work, but he pulled the brakes, so we'll see if he can actually get into something else.
I love hitting the Cybernetics Core.
Yeah.
2 Adepts is not something you ever have to respect here. So he takes that out. It's not the biggest deal in the world, but it does slow down all the tech here. A counterattack coming in here, but this can actually get blocked by Roaches very easily.
Yeah. Really, Dark is slamming everything that Trap is trying, and I think the way he's trying to come out of this is a good and intelligent way, but you can definitely tell Dark has the edge here. He has the lead. It's really up to Trap to make something happen right now.
So, the third base is being taken now. And, I mean, Protosses can win from here, and we've seen this before, but it's not the ideal game, right? You try to do your time and attack. You try to, not exactly, I mean, sort of all in, I guess you could say, but you see that Zerg's got enough, and you go back into standard play.
Yeah. Hydralisk Den is coming up right now. I want to suggest that we see Roach Hydra, which is a composition that we don't really see anymore, and even when we saw it, we didn't really see it because it wasn't all that good.
Even when we saw it, we didn't really see it. That's true. It was like occasionally there, and it was sort of weird, but...
Well, that was the Ogre Zerg gamer of StarCraft 2, where it's like, Sue's like, look at this army, and it's like, this shouldn't beat anything, but sometimes it does.
Yeah.
In this weird situation where it's heavy charge lot, and like, he's trying to get into Immortals and Archons, I think Roach Hydra actually can roll through him.
Maybe, actually.
I would really like to see that. The thing is, if he goes into Lurker from here, that's a very slow composition. It's like he gives Trap a lot of time to recover. I guess we'll see. He's making Hydras. We don't see the Lurker Den, so I think he is going to do it.
So, I like watching this Void Ray. Pew, pew, pew.
He's
Might throw
trying
down that
so
Creep
hard.
Tumor. There you go. He wants to win so bad. Oh, how embarrassing.
He put the work into that one, didn't he? That's his Rocky montage scene, killing that Creep Tumor.
Yeah, put that in his highlight video right there. Along with all the great plays of just stuff being destroyed. One Void Ray. Pew, pew, pew. So from here, I think Zerg does have a substantial lead. Zerg is going to peak and max out pretty quickly.
I think he has a perfect attack timing right now.
Yeah,
if he goes right now, I think he might just win.
Yeah, and I think we'll be right in game 3 then. Again, I think I get why Trap did what he did, which is like he won a long epic macro game. Why not do a kind of crazy all-in and see if you could just catch the Zerg off guard? Zerg is definitely going to be scarred from the loss of the insanely long game. They both played so well that sometimes it's kind of a smart move.
Totally.
Good catch there.
Yeah, nice little group of roaches picked off. The rest of the army, though, coming around towards the natural. Oh, there is actually a little group over here. Look at this. I don't know about splitting his army like this. I guess this group is doing all right.
Uh-oh. Let's do it again. Let's take that Cybernetics core out. He's going to come back and try to fight here. I don't know that this will work. We'll see. Again, Protoss is hanging on right now. They're far from maxed out. There's much more tech that needs to be developed, many more upgrades that need to be had. But Zerg is looking for a win.
Yeah, he may have missed any kill timings here when he split up his army. It felt like he was in a decent spot, but now that Trap is sitting quite defensively with this many Immortals, and now Storm has finished, I think he can hold on everywhere.
Well, let's see. The Hydras are starting to push up here. Now, it's mostly Immortals up here at the top. And, you know, Immortals are not, again, they're kind of not bad against anything, but they're not great against Hydras either.
Yeah, Hydras can definitely kill him.
Okay, we're about to see the Zerg actually end this game. This has been a great game here by Dark. Let's see if Protoss can hang on, but I mean, when that many Immortals go down, there's plenty more links coming through. GG, Dark takes it.
Yeah, very nice kill move there. It felt like for a moment he might not be able to actually finish him, but that's what happens when you try. But Artosis is in an all-in. He took a third base. It's like, well, you see how Dark was just like, I can do this and I can kill you, because Trap took some big risks with that Zealot attack. It did not work, and he needs help from Dark to get back in the game.
Right. Now, going into game 3 here, I mean, I don't think Trap's going to do anything like what he did in game 2. I think it was a good idea, but yeah, Dark smashed it.
Yeah.
Dark handled it very well.
I don't mind the idea at all, truly. I think it's it can be really nice after a game like that to try to do an all-in, and that's a personal preference thing when you're planning out your series, but it doesn't work for Trap this time. I wouldn't mind to see him like open with a Void Ray on this next map just to make it look similar.
Okay.
To use this
idea.
loss in that way.
Yeah, to take
he might have something like that planned.
The information from game 2 and then maybe try to do something sneaky with that. I really don't know what to expect here, honestly, in game 3, because these are both very unusual games. I mean, game 1, you will probably never replicate that.
Oh, yeah, probably not.
One of our players, by the way, has requested a small break, so we do allow that, and then we'll be hopping into game 3 here. Let's not forget that Innovation is waiting in the winner's match to face off against whoever's going to win here.
Yeah.
And I think this one is a very tough series to call.
This one here? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, it's definitely close. I think that if Trap just plays his normal play, that's his best shot. I think that in just a very standard game right now, he can beat Dark. I think we really did see that in game 1, because there were those mistakes that he shouldn't have made that could have allowed him to win more easily, especially after the damage he took early. But then also I think about who's waiting in the winner match, right? I think if Dark makes it up, Innovation can kill him and win the group. I think if Trap makes it up, I'm not so sure.
Trap is going to be a real toss-up. We mentioned earlier, Innovation really does have a harder time against Protoss, especially as of late. I mean, this is his words, not ours. So Trap could end up just stealing the group entirely. But, yeah, I don't know how to call this one. It could go either way. Yeah, Dark probably loses to Innovation, right? I mean, Rogue got smashed pretty handedly.
I feel like he would.
I think
feel
that
like
Rogue's-
right now he would.
I think if Rogue can't stop Innovation's push, then it's not unreasonable to say that Dark could not either, right? I mean, I think both Dark and Rogue have some of the best defense, but if Rogue can not only bleed but be killed, yeah, Dark could too. Maybe we're getting ahead of ourselves. Let's see what's going to happen in the third game between these two players. Oh, never mind. Now Trap's requested for his break to be used, so hold on. I lied. Let's milk that camera shot.
Okay. Trap really having to go to the bathroom, I guess. They were some long games.
No, Dark
well, the
used
first one was long.
Dark used his break, and now Trap's using his break. So
They should just use it at the same time.
maybe they don't want to pee next to each other in the urinal.
That's always the best for me on the breaks. When I'm peeing at the urinal, and then
You
I
see
got
the
like
two
Sue
players
on
there?
one side, Innovation on the other.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
If I
we
was
have
a pro,
3 urinals in the bathroom here.
if I was a pro, I'd go right next to the urinal that they're in.
Oh yeah.
Do the mind games. You know what I mean?
Just stare at them the whole
Yeah,
time.
the whole time like this. You know?
You're not even peeing.
Yeah.
You're just standing there.
I'm
like
just
a
standing
freak.
there with my fly clothes like that.
Yeah.
And then when they go to wash
That's
their
like
hands,
an
I'm
act of
washing
war.
my hands too.
Yeah. Except you're not using
I
water.
go
You
up even
didn't turn
further.
on
I
the
go up
sink.
on the wrists like this. I wash it better.
Start
Most-
washing behind your ears and
That's
your
right.
neck.
And when I do one of these, I splash some water on my face. Take some deep breaths. Go to my match. Lose because I didn't pee and my bladder was full and I couldn't focus.
Yeah. And also you're not pro level at GSL level StarCraft 2.
That's also a factor, yeah.
That's not as big a
That's
factor.
part
though.
of it.
Still look as good as Innovation in Game 1 against Rogue.
Yeah,
at
for
least.
sure, for sure. So it's going to be Pillars of Gold. Or will it be Pillars of Salt for one of these players? I don't know.
Oh. May well be.
Now, again, I think it could go either way. I don't even know who I'm supposed to root for. Maybe Trap. Trap really was inspirational there in Game 1, man. What he did in the late game. Taking out a world champion like that. All right, guys, our game's loaded up. Let's do this. The winner fights Innovation.
영광의 전투를 펼쳐진다. GSL을 위하여. 드래곤 피닉스 게임 다크 악령. 지리어 클린스 트레 조성호.
Another scoutless expand here. It's kind of interesting that he did this twice in the series,
Yeah.
because Dark is someone who will mix in a 12 pool from time to time.
Yeah, he does that more than the other Zerg players, in fact.
Yeah, I think he really does. So that's, yeah, that's, not sure what to think about that, but now that my brain is going, the thing is, you never know exactly how planned out a player comes into the match with, his plans, like if he already knows all the builds he's going to do in a given matchup. But as Rogue, maybe you look at that and say, if I play Trap, I'm going to 12 pool once.
Yeah.
Maybe mix that in, because for people that don't know, if you go 12 pool against this gasless expansion, it's a free win. Like, you literally just win the game instantly when the Lings get
Yeah,
there.
the Lings just get there and you die.
Yeah, you kill the pylon, they can't stop it. They didn't know it was coming or anything, and that's it. But if you do a probe scout and you see 12 pool, you laugh. Milk comes out of your nose and you hold it easily, and Zerg has less drops.
You know, it's also the question of, like, how much do you want to chalk up a GSL victory to chance when you're this mechanically gifted?
Yeah. But, you know, the build definitely has some upside to it, too, right?
Sure.
It's like you have a better economy. You get more gas earlier on. You're able to kind of push those tech advantages a bit. So, you know, it's kind of the beauty of RTS in a lot of ways as well, though. You get to decide which types of risks you want to take.
Yeah. So now we have the Citadel coming down here, Twilight Council, excuse me, coming down here. And again, it could be any kind of game here. I think you did make a good point, not just about the Lings, the possible quick pull here from Dark, but Dark also does like to occasionally just end games very fast. You know.
Yeah. He likes to rush. Not really seeing that so far here today.
No, not yet at least.
So, all right, with the Twilight and the Robo coming up, is it going to be an Archon drop? Is it just going to be Glaives and a Prism? A bit unsure as of right now. Here comes the Stalker. And we'll see here in just a second. It looks like it's going to be an Archon drop. DT Archon.
Yeah, and this is kind of a nice thing to have in the third game between these two, because we've had a very dramatic, long, epic game. And then in game 2, we had a pretty quick, kind of all in. But this is actually a Glaives build, though. He's getting.
Yeah.
I thought it was going to be an Archon
it felt
build
like he
too, but he's not.
waited for the Glaives a bit, and the Overlord was coming in. So, I mean, it could be a red herring, but I don't think so. Glaives is cheap enough that you can just get it, and it's fine, and it can be a macro build, you know?
Right.
If you only go 4 gates, it's like, okay, well, you can take a third with this. It's not an issue. It's a fine build.
Yeah. So how effective is this going to be? The blueprints of this game so far do seem to resemble some of our games from earlier this year.
Yeah, he's actually making more gates than what I was originally thinking he was going to make.
So is he just going to do this, kind of older adept pressure build?
It looks like it's going to be heavy adept pressure, but what do you do the follow-up, right? Some people go Dark Shrine, some people go Sentry Immortal Push. We don't see the third as often when it's this many gates, because it's kind of like doesn't make sense. It doesn't actually.
It doesn't enhance the
work
rush
with the build at all. It
right.
It doesn't make it more strong. And if it works, then why did you do that? And if it doesn't work, then why did you do that?
It's like it's like a chandelier, like to the build. Like it doesn't actually add, and it just it's something that costs more. Yeah, it's not going to enhance it.
Why do you have a chandelier?
It's
on
a
your
decoration.
boat?
Yeah,
it's like okay. Let's see what he gets done.
So again, this is an older technique, and one of the reasons why it's had less success in months and months is because Zergs are just better and better at dealing with it. You can see the Lings are already on the ramp. The Queens are ready to try to ghost behind the Adept's shades. And here we even see these
good micro.
These Ravagers just driving this back.
I like that. Ooh, and he actually commits to kill off the Ravagers.
Yeah, he kills off the Ravagers, so he can actually do a warp in here. Great micro here with the Warp Prism.
Actually, 2 of the Ravagers do end up living. Very nice micro, though, from Trap. This is very interesting. I want to see if he's going to make the robotic support. I feel like that's what the follow-up's going to be, but I also almost feel like he's waiting, right? He's only seen Lings and like 3 Ravagers. Okay, now he's going to start seeing Roaches. Because when they start making a lot of Roach Ravager, the speed disruptor drops can go very well with this.
Yeah.
Like we saw, of course, from Zaun. Yeah.
Now, no, with only 2 Ravagers, you can't actually target down the Warp Prism and get a kill. So he hits it there. Actually, now it doesn't matter, because now if 2 Ravagers shoot it again, even with full shields, it dies. But it seems like Trap's starting to really do some damage here. Coming in here for the drones. The drones are being pulled away, but this is actually a lot of kills here, man.
Yeah, he's doing all right.
Did he cancel the shade there?
Yeah. Those have 4 over here. Those are going to get cleaned up as well. He's just making Immortals behind. I haven't seen him do any Sentry Warpins as of yet, which I feel like would be a very important Warpin. Warps in 6 more Adepts. Huh. So you can see, actually...
so, I mean, he's not teching out of this almost at all, just the Immortal.
No. Well, he got a 3rd gas, and now he's getting a 4th. So I'm kind of like... I'm waiting to see some sentries, right? If you're going to make Immortals with this, generally you're going to throw down at least a couple sentries to build some energy.
Yeah.
But, yeah, maybe it's just like pure power. Just get a sentry for Guardian Shield later and try to punch a hole through this. But it feels like Dark has a pretty decent army.
Well, I mean, on paper, a lot of times when the Zerg holds this off, they're usually okay, but the number of workers that were killed makes me wonder if it might be harder for Dark to actually catch up. You know, it really just does oftentimes come down to how many workers are actually available, right? How many are mining? Can you grow back out of this? That being said, Protoss doesn't have a third. Protoss's tech is very hiccuped and staggered.
Dude, I feel like there's maybe a couple mind games going on here.
I think you're right.
Because Dark is making very heavy Zergling. And we don't see things like Disruptor. We don't see things like Dark Templar tech, which could get you some Archons, right? Like, Trap is just making Adepts and a few Immortals. It is a lot of Adepts.
Okay, he's shading forward. This is a lot, man.
Oh.
He's going for it. The Immortal's in the back. Good dodges on the Biles. Queen going for the one Warp Prism. The Warp Prism is going to be picked up if he can't save it now. Drones pulled in the fight. 3 Immortals still alive, and I think pretty rich as far as HP goes. And the Zerg is now getting disjointed. I don't know where the Warp Prism is. I think it's not been killed.
Warp Prism might have been killed off.
Oh, maybe it was.
I'm not sure. Like, Queens were really chasing it very deep.
He can keep the Warp Prism alive. He can definitely keep pushing this. I think he can probably anyways, but you need reinforcements. All Lings are coming out here. This is going to be a great moment to Bile here. You cannot move your army.
Yeah, he's going to end up picking some of these off. Oh, tries to throw the Biles down and finish him off, but he does get him out. The finished shade here from the Adepts, bring them into the main base. Only getting 3 drones before Dark pulls, though.
Okay, but he's not done yet. Another shade over here. He can keep getting drone kills. Beautifully done. It's 27 workers right now, Artosis.
Yeah.
20, dude. I think the follow-up push may be devastating. Keep in mind, Robo units coming out one at a time here, right? So he had 3 Immortals last time. He's got 1 coming and another one about to finish. I'm sorry, 2 coming. He'll have the same as before.
Wow.
Never mind.
Well, yeah, he recalled 2, and now he's making some more.
Right.
And
I forgot about that.
He is getting into that Disruptor tech that we mentioned a little bit before.
By the way,
now he's coming up. He needs to finish the hatch. The fact that he didn't get the hatch is really painful.
3 Adepts coming here to start killing drones to draw the screen away. We need to have another warp in here. This hatch very low on HP.
Well, I think this is your #1 priority. You have to kill this hatch, right?
Yeah, I love the sentries coming in here with this. A Guardian Shield and maybe a Force Field or 2 to dice up the position here, forcing some of the Ravagers in the front. They cannot kite away. But again, this is so much muscle here from Dark. Dark is really hanging on.
Oh, but that shade through, actually. I wasn't sure if he was going to let that one finish, but he does, in fact, getting to the natural. This is going to draw some more of the units off to try to defend. Oh, if he's looking, he's got to maybe cancel it. No, he does let it finish, but Lings and a Ravager on top of it.
Going for drones again, though. Right now, it's 24 workers, Artosis. It's not enough.
This is wild. Look at this. Dark has no economy just about, but he still has his hatches. He still has a reasonable standing army.
He's battered and bruised, but he still has the economic tools, although he is short on workers, but he's got expansions. He's got fighting units.
Well, now it's time for some Disruptor drops.
The problem is,
that could be a killer here.
It seems like for most of this game, Dark's head has been underwater.
Yeah.
You know, Trap is really, he seems to be pulling through further and further ahead. That's a Disruptor? Yeah, that's a Disruptor in there. Okay. Now, you can kill a Ravager or Ravagers.
Yeah, they can't do very much to dodge it.
Yeah.
That's one of the prime targets for a Disruptor.
You can see Dark is doing a lot of splitting here.
Yeah. Be very careful about that. Look at that. Lings actually get in on top of a lot of this. They don't end up killing it, but energy is used. Some of the Immortal shields go off. It doesn't matter, though, does it? He's not going to be able to continue that attack.
Yeah. How low is that? Okay, still at about half HP. Even delayed mining right now in a game like this is huge. Now, Dark is just now caught up. But catching up might not cut it, because the third base is going to finish here for Protoss. And, of course, the looming question for Zerg is, when am I going to get my 4th? He's a ways away from that.
Yeah, certainly you're right about that. He's making some queens. I like the blink upgrade.
He doesn't even have the workers for a 4th yet.
No, he does not.
Oh, my God. Moments like this are huge.
I'd love to see him split those some in the main.
Yeah, perfect. Your wish comes true, Artosis. Killing off some of these workers is definitely a great way to play.
Any little bits of damage you can get done. I mean, both of them. Trap has kind of hobbled himself and Dark.
Yeah. No, they're both limping through this game.
He's a hobble
Great
toss.
shot!
Whoa!
That was so cool.
That was an insane Disruptor shot.
Yeah, like an old school Reaver drop there. takes out 11 drones, and I think we're going to have a counter push here. Zerga's having to re-drone as a push is inbound here, and it's going to be 4 disruptors total, along with 4 immortals.
That's going to be hard to hold for Dark.
That's going to be a really tough one.
Trap actually has a lot more army right now. Look at this.
Keep in mind that the Warp Prism is more used to try to micro the disruptors than it is for warping rounds here.
Beautiful split there by Dark, I do have to say. He actually dodged wonderfully on the disruptor shot.
Okay, he shoos him away. Again, the disruptors can kind of ignore the force fields.
Yeah, this fight just looks too hard. He needs his biles to connect like every time to win this. Oh, a nice disruptor shot there as well.
As you can see, Zerg is getting smaller and smaller and weaker. There's lings that are going to be coming in here that have been remade, but again, with these 2 immortals that are so low on HP, still alive. He's pushing. He's up here. He's going to be able to cut all rally points in half. Ravagers are fleeing.
Oh, so nice with these disruptor shots now as well. Cleaning these up. There's
Trap is
nothing
a
left.
monster. GG. Wow. Trap. I think he might get out first now.
I accept your apology,
I
Jason.
know. I'll have to get that trap tattoo after all.
Yeah.
Damn,
I already got
what
one
a
on
day.
my ankle, Tasteless. So.
Yeah. I'll get that trap tramp stamp right above my butt.
It's a trap staff.
A trap staff is what they call it.
Yeah.
So Trap is just looking like a beast, man.
Yeah. I mean, he's great right now. He's in top form.
Yeah.
I feel like this could be the season, Tasteless, where we have Stats or Trap end up winning this tournament.
I think so.
They both look so unbelievably strong.
By the way,
now.
this entire month has been so awesome.
Yeah.
This game's every GSL and ASL day is insane.
So true.
So crazy, man. Okay, guys, we have a short break. We come back. The winner's match, Innovation versus Trap.